My daughter Arthelaus, one of the most dangerous and decorated warriors in the history of armed conflict.
In the vast expanse of the colony world Veldt, where golden fields stretched as far as the eye could see, the tranquil life of a farming village nestled amid rolling hills was about to be shattered. The azure sky, usually a canvas of serenity, painted a different tale as a dark speck appeared on the horizon. It was a harbinger of impending change, heralding the arrival of Admiral Atticus Noble and his imposing soldiers from the Imperium of the Motherworld. The sun dipped low, casting long shadows as Noble and his entourage entered the village. Their arrival sent ripples through the normally peaceful settlement. Dust swirled in the air, carrying whispers of the turmoil that was about to unfold. Amidst the villagers, a figure of authority emerged, Sindri, the leader who bore the weight of responsibility for the prosperity of his people. Noble, adorned in the regalia of the Imperium, addressed the villagers with an air of arrogance that echoed through the valley. He spoke of rebels, Devra and Darian Bloodaxe, whose names were like a curse on his lips. In the same breath, he offered to buy the village's surplus grain, a thinly veiled threat beneath the guise of commerce. Sindri, a stoic figure with weathered features that spoke of years tilling the land, stood firm. He refused Noble's offer, stating that their production was insufficient to sustain both the villagers and the whims of the Imperium. The ambitious Gunnar, however, contradicted Sindri. Eager for favor from the Imperium, he told Noble that they might indeed have a surplus to sell. The atmosphere tensed as Noble's patience waned. In a swift and cruel act, he silenced Sindri permanently. The echoes of the gunshot lingered, a chilling reminder that the Imperium brooked no defiance. Gunnar, now the de facto leader, acquiesced to Noble's demands. The villagers were given an ultimatum to provide the entire surplus in 10 weeks or face the wrath of the Imperium. Noble departed, leaving behind a detachment of soldiers to ensure compliance. As night fell over Veldt, shadows whispered of fear and resentment. It was in this darkness that a spark of rebellion ignited. Kora, a villager with a spirit unbroken by oppression, rose against the impending tyranny. When the soldiers, fueled by their newfound authority, attempted to violate the innocence of a girl named Sam, Kora intervened. The clash was fierce, and in the throes of the struggle, Kora emerged victorious, delivering justice to the invaders. With bloodstained hands, Kora addressed the villagers. A somber warning hung in the air. Noble would return, and his vengeance would be swift and merciless once he learned of the rebellion. Undeterred, Kora set forth a plan to defend their village, embarking on a perilous journey to seek allies who could stand against the might of the Imperium. Kora's path crossed with Gunnar, the man who had once knelt before Noble. In an unexpected turn, Gunnar, shaken by the brutality he had witnessed, pledged his allegiance to Kora's cause. Together, they set forth to the port of Providence, where a pivotal ally awaited, General Titus and his formidable army. As Kora and Gunnar navigated the bustling port, they encountered an unexpected companion, Kai, a charismatic yet enigmatic criminal with a ship at his disposal. Kai offered not only his vessel but also his services in navigating the complex webs of Providence. With reluctant trust, Kora and Gunnar accepted the dubious alliance, knowing that their cause required every resource available. The journey unfolded like a tapestry of revelations, betrayals, and unexpected alliances. Kai, with a past shrouded in shadows, gradually revealed facets of himself that confounded and intrigued. Along the way, he introduced two formidable warriors, siblings with a shared history of resistance against the Imperium, Rena and Voss. The ship sailed through the cosmic sea, carrying its cargo of hope and defiance toward Veldt. The camaraderie among Kora, Gunnar, Kai, Rena, and Voss grew, transcending initial suspicions and forging bonds born of necessity. Each member of this unlikely fellowship carried their own burden, be it a quest for redemption, vengeance, or a longing for freedom. As the vessel approached Veldt, tension gripped the travelers. The fate of their village hung in the balance, and the looming silhouette of Imperium warships on the horizon foreshadowed an impending storm. The time for revelations had arrived. In the village, whispers of rebellion spread like wildfire. The villagers, once resigned to the inevitability of their fate, now stood united in the face of adversity. Kora, Gunnar, Kai, Rena, and Voss became the catalyst for change, rallying the villagers in preparation for the storm that would soon descend upon them. General Titus, the seasoned warrior who had seen the horrors wrought by the Imperium, joined the cause. His army, a formidable force honed by years of resistance, stood shoulder to shoulder with the villagers of Veldt. The stage was set for a confrontation that would echo through the annals of rebellion. As the Imperium warships descended upon Veldt, a battle of David and Goliath unfolded. The fields that that had witnessed the toil of generations now bore witness to a clash that would determine the fate of not just a village, but the spirit of resistance against tyranny. The battle was fierce, a symphony of clashing blades, booming gunfire, and the rallying cries of the oppressed. Kora, wielding a weapon forged in the crucible of her defiance, stood at the forefront, leading the charge against the merciless tide of imperial soldiers. Gunnar, torn between the loyalty he once swore and the cause he now championed, fought with a fervor that echoed the internal conflict within. Kai, a master of guile and cunning, orchestrated strategic maneuvers that confounded the Imperium forces. Rena and Voss, siblings with a shared history of rebellion, unleashed a torrent of fury upon those who sought to oppress them. General Titus, a grizzled veteran with a steely resolve, carved a path through the enemy ranks, his presence inspiring the troops under his command. The battle reached its zenith as Noble, the cruel architect of oppression, descended upon Veldt with a wrath that matched the intensity of the stormy sky. The confrontation between Kora and Noble became a focal point, a clash of ideologies that mirrored the larger struggle for freedom. In a moment of truth, Gunnar faced a choice that would define his legacy. Loyalty to the Imperium, which had once been his guiding light, now paled in comparison to the injustices he had witnessed. With a decisive act, he severed the ties that bound him to Noble and joined the ranks of the rebels. As the Imperium forces faltered, overwhelmed by the collective might of rebellion, Noble's arrogance transformed into desperation. In a final, futile act, he sought to unleash the full might of imperial firepower upon Veldt. The air crackled with tension as the villagers and their newfound allies braced for the inevitable. In a twist of fate, Kai, the enigmatic criminal turned reluctant hero, sacrificed himself to disable the imperial warship's weapon systems. The explosion, a burst of defiance that echoed through the cosmos, marked a turning point. Veldt, once on the precipice of annihilation, emerged victorious. The aftermath was a tableau of triumph and tragedy. The Imperium forces, shattered and demoralized, retreated from Veldt. The villagers, though scarred by the ordeal, stood resilient. Kora, Gunnar, Rena, Voss, and General Titus surveyed the battlefield, their gazes reflecting the toll of war. As the sun set on the horizon, casting a warm glow over the fields that had borne witness to rebellion, the villagers gathered. The fallen were honored, the sacrifices remembered, and the spirit of resistance celebrated. Kora, once a simple villager, now stood as a symbol of defiance. In the closing scenes, the camera panned across the faces of those who had stood against oppression. Each character, with their own journey of redemption, vengeance, or freedom, faced an uncertain future. The legacy of Veldt, once marked by tranquility, was now etched with the indelible ink of rebellion. As the villagers rebuilt, Kora and her companions departed, their paths diverging once more. The screen faded to black, leaving the audience with a sense of both closure and anticipation. Harvest of Rebellion concluded as an epic tale of resistance, friendship, and the enduring spirit of those who dared to defy the shackles of tyranny.